Hello, everybody. Welcome back to some Deadlock. Graves came out. I was busy last night when she came out. So I'm doing my first look now. It looks like their thank you for voting for them is a hell yeah. So that's cool. So we're going to just take a look through the kit. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to see what it's like. I'm going to talk about how I think I'll play them. But I'm going to look at the gun first. How does the gun work? Burst fire, medium range. Thank. Bullet damage, ammo, long reload time, but not bullet lifesteal? Hang on. She default has bullet lifesteal? What a goddamn minute. Also, they only have 2 stamina. They default have bullet lifesteal. Oh, it's an auto suck. Oh, you can just hold the thing and it'll hit. You can just hold the thing and you'll get souls. Okay, so, well, that makes them really good at denying from the enemy. I don't know if gun graves will be very good. I feel like the weapon's base stats are probably not very strong, and also, let's look at range, shall we? Yeah, it is quite close range. So I had a feeling that says you're like a point-blank character if you're gonna run guns at all. Oh, they literally can't use headshot booster, and you can't use Spirit Rend on them. That's funny. That's good to know. You can use Spirit Shredder bullets, which is interesting, but you can't use Spirit Rend, which kind of makes sense. And it doesn't look like they're a 2 stamina character, which means that, personal opinion, it's going to be either like a, can you even use? I mean, you can't get weakening headshot. Can you get kinetic you can't get kinetic dash on them, which does up their fire rate. It looks like their auto attack has like a passive that's tied to one of your abilities, but I don't know yet. We'll figure out as we read. Let's start with the first one. I'm just having them at max level so we can just see what everything does, and also it makes it less annoying. Passive, collect death when anything dies and stored in your jar of dread. Active, throw a jar to summon deadheads that repeatedly deal spirit damage. Deadheads follow you around if there's no nearby enemies and prioritize the target of your weapon. Oh. Well, that's cool as hell. Does extra charge and rapid recharge work with it? Oh, it looks like it does. And it looks like they stay out there for a hot minute. Okay. Let's see, how many... I'm assuming I'd have to kill, like, minions and stuff to get charges. Oh, cool melee. Cool melee. Very cool melee. So yeah, killing minions and stuff gives you charges. It looks like they're going to be kind of a Victor character in a way, where like you kind of want to be getting like at least an extra charge early, because then you can use your ability, but it's not an ability that you use in order to like, it's like Victor in that like you have to be in combat doing stuff in order to get it. So you probably want to be farming camps, I'd assume. Let me go check out the camp. I'd assume that the camp counts. Hang on. Got to take 12 years to kill something in this game. Yeah, okay, it's definitely counting. All right. I figured it would, but I had to double check because, you know, video game logic sometimes. So yeah, it looks like you're going to want to clear camps, clear waves, and be just a part of stuff dying as much as possible. They repeatedly deal damage. Do they apply stuff like escalating exposure? Okay, so they apply it, but it's only once per overall, like, volley hit. Makes it a good ability. Oh, your basic attack, your auto attack, your gun applies it, huh? That's... Does it? Alright, hang on, let me go hit this other guy over here. Okay, your gun doesn't apply it. Good to know. Still, very cool. Very cool idea. It'll mean escalating's probably okay if they have other abilities that'll trigger it. They follow you if there's no enemies and prioritize the target of your weapon. So if you're like in a gunfight with someone, you throw this at him, it'll start hitting him. Collecting death heals 5 health per pickup. That's pretty good. On hit, applying a slow is also pretty strong. And +2 deadheads, and they now trigger essence theft, which I don't know what essence theft is, but that sounds good. Up to 6 charges with the rapid recharge. Pretty solid. It looks like you don't actually get more charges by leveling up, which is okay. The healing is probably quite strong, so maxing this early might be good, especially if you're trying to use them as like a DPS character. Alright, next ability is Grasping Hand. Unearth a line of Grasping Hands dealing spirit damage and applying Immobilize when they pass through. Alt cast rotates the orientation. So you can... Ah, so it holds them in place. Let me no cooldown for a second. So if I cast it just underneath them, does it immobilize them entirely? Oh, it does! That's very cool. So you can also just like flip it and throw it down and be like, alright, sick, so now I'm forcing you to go through it. That's a very cool idea for an ability. I really like that. You can throw it down in a fight either... I mean, how far does it go? Oh, you can go throw it pretty far out, so you can throw it to, like, stop someone's escape. That's a powerful ability, in my opinion. You can also throw it, like... I don't know why you'd ever throw it like this unless you're coming in at an odd angle to a fight. I feel like more often than not, you'd want it to be, parallel to you, not perpendicular, but like, that's just, like, my opinion, man. It does okay damage with okay spirit scaling. Plus duration, plus wall length, and minus cooldown. This would be also a pretty good ability to try and get leveled up. It's not your damage ability, but it's your fight ability, and a really strong fight ability at that. Let's go... I mean, example here. So you throw it down like that, and someone's trying to walk and roll away, and then you can throw your one, and... start gunning them and throw more ones, and start gunning them and throw more ones. Pretty cool. Oh, and then they start following me if there's no one else nearby enough. That's pretty heckin' cool. I like that a lot. It seems like a really strong team fighting ability. Alright, third ability, Essence Theft. Oh, this is the ability that was mentioned in Jar of Dead? Jar of Dead. Essence Theft. Your weapon now steals weapon damage and spirit resist. I'm sorry, what? You steal weapon damage and spirit resist from people and your one will trigger it? That's crazy strong. 3 max steal targets. So you can only steal it from half the enemy team. And it needs to be 4 total seconds for max damage, which you can steal up to 15% spirit resist and 71% of weapon damage. So that means that, like, as I sit here, my damage is ramping up, right? Yeah, it goes from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It looks like it kind of caps out at 12, at least with, like, you know, just a kinetic dash. But that's very cool. So upgrading it upgrades the amount of spirit resist and weapon damage. Weapon can attach to an additional target? Wait, hang on. So I was going to go hit Minion Wave, but it'll actually make more sense just to kind of spawn. Oh, okay. That seems a little strong, but what do I know? So, like, you could be like, alright, I throw this out, and now I'm weapon stealing, and if you try and run away, you get immobilized, and I just keep throwing stuff. Okay, that seems like it could be quite strong. Seems like it could be very, very strong. Holy... I had to take a second and clear out the map so we could look at stuff a bit cleaner. Borrowed Decree is the ultimate. Create a gravestone that summons ghouls over time. Enemies can destroy the gravestone with 2 heavy melees. 32-second duration, 5 seconds to summon. Ghouls shamble towards the enemy dealing base melee damage. Oh, towards the enemy base dealing melee damage. They explode when they approach a hero or objective, dealing spirit damage and applying a brief slow. So you just kind of smack it down and then... Oh, I see. Do they just keep coming? Oh, they just keep coming. Okay. I like that it just says rip. Well, as those guys continue to... Oh, I assume that icon above it is the timer. You'll see it when I move my mouse away. That's pretty cool. Oh, does that... Is that death for me to pick up? Let me get rid of that. Oh, so them dying... Sorry, I had infinite cooldown on. So them dying gives us death for our Jar of Dead. Interesting. They also have a knockback on them, apparently. And apply a slow. The spirit damage has 1.5x scaling, minus 80% move speed. So the summon health goes up with your level, probably. The melee damage scales with spirit by a little bit. Big summon lifetime, decent explosion radius. So that probably means as well that this is a character where greater expansion is probably okay. Because it'll... Yeah, like this is enormous. Like, yeah, okay, so this is a character where greater expansion will probably be pretty good. Because then, does that make them run further? It makes their explosions a little bigger, I'd assume. It's explosion radius 8.8 meters. Saw the item. 6 point. Yeah, okay. So they're a character where greater expansion's really good, extra charges is really good, even though Jar of Dead probably charges itself quite slowly in lane. I'd assume that as a result of that, rapid recharge making the faster time between charges happen would be really strong. Plus the bonus spirit power. And this looks like it's your big damage ability. Your big damage is probably you throw out Jar of Dead and do some big damage with it. This looks to be a combination of like summon minions to go after people, as well as just like throw down an ult to go after people as well. So the upgrades are minus cooldown, plus ghoul speed and duration. So it looks like you probably want to get at least 2 points in this, because without the speed and duration, I imagine they're pretty easy to avoid. And explosions deal 5% max health damage, and 3 ghouls instantly spawn on cast. Okay, so if you're trying to make the ultimate be a part of your thing, do these guys go through and fight minions? Oh, they do fight minions. Oh, that's crazy strong. I wanna watch them do their thing. So I want to see how they do against the boss down here, because, well, they're kind of cute, I'm not gonna lie. So they just run up with the boss and explode? Okay, so they treat the boss like a minion. Or not like a minion, sorry, like a player character. When they get close enough, they will explode. That's pretty freaking cool. It looks like all of the abilities have really high potential to be an ability worth leveling and using, too. That's always the fun part with characters like this, is that depending on how you want to play... Where did the guy go? Did I just send him to Oblivion? I don't know where he went. Anyways, it looks like this is a character that has multiple abilities that are all really strong and very worth maxing out. Like, maxing the Grasping Hands with a greater expansion means your wall is the size of the universe. Maxing this out means you get more deadheads and they trigger essence theft. Maxing this out means that your weapon attaches to multiple people, so in chaotic team fights, it'll just auto hook on to multiple people, which, these guys are decently far apart. Yeah, look at that though. Like, they have to be pretty close together. They absolutely have to be pretty close together, but like, I've been in plenty of team fights where that is exactly how it goes. Is weapon range a stat in this game? I don't actually know. Weapon fall off range is a stat. Would you buy long range on them? Okay, so like here is the fall off for the weapon. And then you sell long range and it doesn't. Okay, so yeah, you could buy long range on them, to be completely honest. Wait, does Ricochet work? It's in the auto build. I gotta find out. So it should only be hitting 2 targets. Okay, so Ricochet does work. That's kind of insane. So this is a character that probably wants to build into all 3 stats because of how their gun works and because of how our essence theft will work. So you're definitely not a support in the way that Rem was. That's for dang sure. So doing some minor testing, it looks like gun will probably be quite an important part of the build. If you look at the items I've chosen here, Ricochet, also, as you can tell, I've looked up a build and it says little captions on the items. Ignore the captions, it's not my words, it's someone else's. But like Ricochet does work on the weapon. Silencer and Inhibitor both work. Toxic Bullet works, and so does Split Shot. So like, as you can tell, it is linking and chaining because of how Ricochet works. And we can even sell Ricochet though. And you can see, all right, so it's going to like one person and then like, I'm not max level, so it's not chaining. Also, it absolutely looks like if you're using gun build, you want essence theft first. But see, like, oh, we're going to 2 people and it's chaining. And also look how fast those debuffs proc. But you hit Split Shot and, oh look, it hits everybody. So Ricochet and Split Shot both work. So early game, if you want something powerful that makes your weapon a bit stronger, you absolutely want Split Shot. Which means that, personal opinion, early game, you could absolutely run items such as long range and Split Shot, and then potentially like Kinetic Dash if you want to be Gun Graves early. It leads to you being able to Kinetic Dash like that, activate Split Shot, and you just hit everything. It'll lead to some really fast farming in the early game, which actually I have to click no cooldown again really quick to do this, because you can like jump dash, hit the thing, and just run up to a camp and you just hold the button down, and then the camp slowly dies for you, while also giving you your 1 charges. So if you're going for like gun early, you can go for stuff like that. If you're going for spirit early, you can very easily go stuff like Mystic Slow, Mystic Vulnerability, because of the way that your abilities keep interacting. Greater Expansion is okay. Upon reading a little more, it seems like it's not the greatest item you could get. Rapid Recharge can be quite strong because of giving you extra charges. Lightning Scroll could be quite funny, but it's also a matter of Mystic Slow is probably good on the character anyways, so then that makes it so that when your minions come out and blow up on people, they get stunned. Like so. I want to run away from this because they're just going to keep doing that for a hot second. But yeah, no, it seems like Graves has potential to go in a couple of different directions with their build. It looks like items like Leech will probably be very, very strong on them, because Leech gives bullet and spirit lifesteal, as well as a little bit of spirit-powered weapon damage, like the exact type of thing a character like Graves just bans multiple directions. It seems like exactly like what they want. You could also combine them with items, like I said, like Rapid Recharge to make your ones come back faster. You can go a little bit more in-depth with the weapon, going for stuff like Point Blank or Escalating Resilience, because Escalating Resilience is probably another one of those items that, as you get closer to people, you activate it and boom, you're now maxed out on your bullet resist. Combine that with items like potentially Ballistic. Maybe. It could be strong, though. That's not the item I was thinking of. Apologies. The item I was thinking of was Toxic Bullets, because of how fast you can trigger things. You could argue that Recharging Rush could work. Let's, cooldown's not on, so I'll throw that, and I'll see how fast it charges up by just dealing weapon damage. Oh. Okay. So, good to know. That's another item that you could buy early. I didn't know how fast it would trigger. Turns out quite fast. So that's another powerful item you could buy on them if you want to get your ones upgraded and spamming as fast as possible. But this character looks like they have a lot of places they can go. I'm really excited to play them personally. They'll definitely be a, like, brawler bruiser and probably play around the same distance away from people as, like, a Calico. Or, like, a Drifter, where you kind of want to get pretty close to trigger all your stuff as quickly as possible. But overall, I think they're going to be a little weaker than those characters are. I mean, I reset myself. I go back to base level. You have 700 base health. Comparing that to other characters, like we've talked about Ram, he only has 650. But characters like Geist have 850, and they're a self-damaging, get in the middle of things hero. Drifter has 725, so they're pretty similar to Drifter. Calico also has 700. So, you know, personal opinion, I think they're going to play a lot like Calico. They're kind of a get in, get out, attack people character, but you're probably going to need to buy some form of stamina, which is why I'm saying that, like, I'm looking at builds like this and I'm like, all right, well, you have stamina mastery and that's it. But, like, you know, it would also probably be very, very good for a character like this, Arcane Surge. Jump, and then all of a sudden you throw your thing and it's a bigger radius, and oh man, now you're hitting everybody. Or you get Kinetic Dash, and as a result now, as you're chasing people down, because of how slowly your ammo drains, that jump dash will refill your ammo just enough to probably help you finish off a kill. Tons of potential for tons of stuff. Definitely a character you need to buy stamina on, though. Any 2 stamina character needs at least Arcane Surge or Kinetic Dash or Stamina Mastery in there somewhere. I think this character's got a lot of potential on where you can go in their builds, though. I think that they just got lots of room to work. I think that their gun build will probably be pretty strong, but it'll take a high skill floor to get used to how the close range weapon works, because as you can see, I'm barely able to hit it from here. That's pretty close for a game like Deadlock. You'll really have to get in there in order to do stuff. However, that's the point of stuff like the first ability getting a level up. You'll collect health upon killing enemies. With the third ability level up, you'll be able to actually fight multiple things in close range like this. Combine that with, say, your split shots of the world. Combine that with how your 3 will steal weapons and weapon damage and stuff. And I think that the character's got pretty solid potential for being a really powerful pick. I'm really excited to play them. I hope y'all are excited for them as well. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Deadlock's a game that I've been enjoying a lot lately, and I hope to keep playing it and making content on it. So thanks for watching.